Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Prizepicks video. For this one, we're talking about the NFL Conference Championship games on Sunday. So we have 5 really good picks in this video for you guys to consider. So stay tuned throughout the video to hear picks from both of these games. So let's get into this one. Excited for these games. Obviously, you're taking McCaffrey here as much as Prizepicks will let you in your slips. So definitely take advantage of the McCaffrey free square. I have another McCaffrey pick coming for you guys as well after you guys have used all that one. Last Sunday, absolutely massive hits over here in the NFL. So definitely check out the private Discord. We had a ton of people in here in the private Discord hitting slips last weekend. Also, we don't make NBA videos on the weekends, but we post a ton of picks for NBA, NHL as well in the private Discord. So checking out these ones from last weekend in the NFL, a ton of hits over here. So definitely get over there. It's less than $1 per day on the monthly plan. You get access to 5+ cappers in the private Discord, plus our projections that have hit 3 days in a row. We've gone 9 for 9 on the projections over the course of the last 3 days that we run every morning as well. So definitely check it out. Now let's get into the video. So the first one we're going to go to is going to be Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson, his rush yards are way up there. We were on that last week and it hit, but it was at like 51.5. Now it's so high. If I was going to play anything on this, I'd probably go the under, honestly, but I'm just leaving that one alone. Lamar Jackson, you never know. But I'm going to over in the pass yards. I think this is going to be a really close, tight game, back and forth. Lamar's going to have to throw a lot more than he usually does in this one. And I think it's going to be, close back and forth game here. Lamar's going to have to hit over this yardage if they're going to win. So going to Lamar on here, over on the passing yards. He gets Mark Andrews back, hopefully, in this game as well. So we're liking that for Lamar. Looking at Lamar Jackson over here on Outlier, which is a great tool I use every single day for player props and prize picks. Definitely check it out. They have a 7-day free trial with the link down below. On the season, 9 of 17 games, just over half the games, he went over this yardage, but obviously there was a lot of games where, the Ravens were blowing teams out. He didn't have to throw that much. So a cool thing you can do over here on Outlier is you can only look at games where the Ravens won by a lot. So in games when they won by 10 or more, he only hit this over in 4 of 10 games. So he is more likely to hit this in the closer games. So we definitely like to see that stat if we think it's going to be a closer game. And you could look at games where Lamar and the Ravens won by 15 or more, which actually 7 games they did this year. And he hit this over in just 2 of 7 of those games. So in their closer games, Lamar is hitting this one a lot more. So we definitely like to see that for Lamar. I think he's going to be in a good spot where he's going to have to pass a lot. Kansas City is a tough pass defense, but I think Lamar will get it going and hit in this one. We also saw that just over half the games Lamar hit this over on the passing yardage, but you can also look at games where he played with Mark Andrews, who's right here, and if Andrews is in 6 of 10 games, Lamar went over this. So a little better for Lamar there as well. Definitely a lot of cool things you can do on Outlier, so check them out. For the next pick, we're going to a Chiefs pick. We're going to go to Mahomes. I think this is going to be a game I've said multiple times, close, back and forth game here. And the Ravens, great defense. I'm going to Mahomes over on an interception. And, you may not like taking unders or, turnovers for star players, but I'm going to it. Mahomes throws more interceptions than you would think. You can see Mahomes on Outlier, the interceptions. He has thrown them in 11 of 18 games. And, kind of same thing. We could look at this game here where they won by 31. Mahomes didn't throw interception, but the closer games are the games where Mahomes has thrown a good amount of interceptions and the losses. So thinking Mahomes, he's thrown 14 of them on the year, nearly 1 per game on average. And I think that he's just going to be in line for at least 1 interception. It may not even be his fault, but Baltimore is the 3rd best team at intercepting in the NFL. So definitely like that stat as well for this one. So Mahomes going to him on an interception. So we got the 2 star quarterbacks here in our slip, and I think that's going to be a wild, crazy back and forth game. So liking both those. Also over here on OddsJam, that does have a 7-day free trial as well if you use the link down below if you want to check it out. They compare these lines on Prizepicks to other sports books. Over a half interception for Mahomes. All these sportsbooks are liking it. Pinnacle likes it the most. That's the sportsbook that I think has the sharpest odds. They have it at minus 137 for him to hit as well. So definitely take that into consideration as for this pick, what the lines are on other sportsbooks. So before we get into the Niners and the Lions game, make sure to jump on DraftKings Sportsbooks if you guys are not. New customers get $200 in free bonus bets right now. Absolutely insane deal. There's only 16 days left to jump on this if you've never signed up for DraftKings Sportsbook. They're running a crazy deal. All you have to do is deposit the minimum, which is $10, and place a $5 bet, and then they're going to give you the $200 in bonus bets in your account, and literally you can just play through that and cash out. Insane deal, so definitely check it out with the link down below. You got to use that link to take advantage of the deal on DraftKings right now. Crazy deal. Definitely jump on it for these NFL games as well. You can just bet money lines or whatever on DraftKings. You can also do player props as well over there. But highly recommend taking advantage of all this free money. DraftKings probably has the best deal out right now. So for this game, the first Niners pick we're going to go to is going to be Christian McCaffrey. We're going to go to him. Obviously, the half rush yard, but once you use all that up, go to the receptions for McCaffrey is what I'm liking here. McCaffrey has had a lot of big receiving games. Obviously, they're going to use him even more than they have all year. And I think that this game is going to be very high scoring, back and forth. Both these teams really putting up a ton of points in a big fight here. And they're going to have to be throwing the ball a lot. And McCaffrey is going to be one of the main targets here for Brock Purdy. 4.5 receptions. If we come look at this one on Outlier, we could see that the 4.5 receptions for McCaffrey, barely over half the games he's hit this, but in 3 of his last 4 games he's hit it. Got 7 in the last game in that absolute battle and close back and forth game where the Niners had to pass a ton. And I think the Niners are going to have to pass a lot. Purdy's numbers are absolutely crazy for what his lines are. So I think that just indicates a lot of throwing. And actually, we're going to come over here to Purdy. His pass attempts is over 31.5. This is not one of our picks, but on the season, he's only passed for that many times, 3 times, and one of them was the last game in that crazy playoff game. So they expect Purdy to throw a ton more. There's going to be a lot of checkdowns and routes run for McCaffrey in this one. So really liking McCaffrey on this pick. Then the next one, we're going to go to Aiyuk. Also, before we get into Aiyuk's stats here, let's go back to Outlier. Brock Purdy, the pass yards, this is at 274.5. It's insanely high. It's probably the highest it's been for Brock Purdy. He hasn't thrown that in the last 4 games, only 7 of 17 games he's thrown for that. So they expect him to throw for a lot more yards in this game. Aiyuk, I think he is better with Deebo Samuel in the lineup, so they can't just all focus on Aiyuk. I mean, last game we saw so many of the targets going to Jennings because they're leaving Jennings open and really covering Aiyuk. So Aiyuk's been struggling, I think, without Deebo in the lineup. You can see last game just 32, game before that just 25. But has had some absolutely massive games as well. Just missed the prop at 76.5 by 1 in this game. But on the season, he's hit it in 7 of 17 games. This is showing the under at 59%. So it's only 7 of 17. He's hit it 41%. But, I mean, if he got one more yard in this game, he would have hit it. And I think with Deebo, he just plays a lot better because he doesn't have as much focus on him. So going to Aiyuk for the second Niner pick, and then we're going to go to a Detroit Lion pick. With them passing more in this is what all these sportsbooks are projecting, which is part of the reason that we're going to McCaffrey and Aiyuk, who I don't think their lines are high enough yet. I think that the pass rush is going to get to them a little bit. Going to Aiden Hutchinson here, he just needs a sack. And Hutchinson, you can see last 4 games, he's had at least 1 sack. Not the best season for Hutchinson if we're looking at him on Outlier. Had a streak of 4 games in a row without a sack, but now has had, 8 sacks in the last 4 games and 4 straight games with a sack. I think that he's just on a roll. Gonna get to the pass rusher here, and it's not like Brock Purdy doesn't get sacked a lot. You can see this season he got sacked 28 times after getting sacked just 11 times last year. I mean, he played only 9 games, but 28 times sacked, so it's not like San Francisco is doing extremely well at protecting the passer. So I do think Aiden Hutchinson is in for a sack in this game, so I'm going to lock him in on Prizepicks, and definitely get over in the private Discord or consider it. It's going to be the pinned comment down below or the top of the description. Last weekend we went absolutely crazy with all sports, but also NFL. We're not going to post videos for the NBA this weekend, so if you guys want all these picks for NHL, NFL, NBA over the weekend, you're going to find them in the private Discord. Less than $1 per day on the monthly plan. Definitely jump on that. Also, subscribe to the channel for videos coming out starting again on Monday for the NBA, and we'll see you guys in the next one.